welcome back to a brand new episode of the Power of Youth Plus, where diverse perspectives shine. Today we are in the vibrant Beijing International Studies University, where we'll be asking students questions about tourism. What is the most important aspect for you when traveling? My colleague Jackson went around campus to ask students this question. Check it out.
Hey there, this is your friend Jackson. So what's your go-to travel destination when traveling in China? And what do you care about the most? So right now I'm at the Beijing International Studies University. Let's go and figure it out. So what's the must-have factor for you when it comes to traveling?
In my opinion, living in nature and beautiful sceneries and really essential for a person to relax.
If you travel to another country, you will communicate with the local people. That will inspire my own idea.
In my opinion, to learn Chinese, you definitely have to learn Chinese culture because these parts are inseparable. And to master Chinese, you should also master Chinese culture to understand it. And otherwise, you won't success.
For the first, I think scenery. Zhangjiajie, we don't have that in Denmark. We don't have mountains in Denmark, so I think scenery and nature for me is quite important. The other, I'd say, is food. You can get it like this. If I were to eat it back at home, it cost me an arm and a leg.
Safety.
Let's say I'm solo traveling. I want to make sure I am safe when I'm traveling, as well as having fun.
What's the experience here in China when traveling?
Oh, in China, it's perfectly safe. I haven't had any issues. I haven't felt scared. Even traveling at nighttime, coming back from the club, I haven't had any bad experience. Yeah.
Your priority here is study. I heard about clubbing. Girl, I heard about clubbing.
I have to have fun as well.
Myrna, I got all of these answers and it's your turn.
Thank you, Jackson. And before we get into these answers, please watch a video for Beijing International Studies University. All right, now we're back with three fantastic students here. Guys, please say hello to our audience. Hello.
Hi.
All right, welcome guys. Hello, hello. And as we've seen earlier, Jackson has went across campus to ask them what is the most important factor for them when traveling. What about you guys? What do you think is the top 5 answers? Who wants to go first?
I can.
Yes, Nicole.
I think the budget.
Budget. Budget is definitely on here. Which one is budget? Well done, Nicole. It is number 3. That is a good guess, isn't it? I think a lot of people consider that before choosing a place to travel.
Yes.
What about you guys?
I think accommodation is definitely a very important part.
Accommodation, you are absolutely right, but it is not on our list today. We can try again. Let's go, Javier.
Well, I think the very important thing is to find the way we need to go there. Just find the
Transportation.
The transportation, yes.
Fortunately, that is not one of the answers that our university students gave.
Wow.
Nicole, do you want to try again since you got one right?
As a foreign person in China, I think passport.
Ah, yes.
Passport. It's an essential, definitely, but it is a must-have factor. I guess it is, isn't it? But it's not on our list today. What about, tell me, when you're traveling, do you want to go alone or like, is that
friends?
something? Friends. Absolutely, it is
travel
our
company is the
first
first
one.
thing. Oh.
Because I think here in campus, like everyone's like walking around with their friends. So when you ask them, they're like, yeah, travel companion is the most important thing to me. Do you guys like to travel solo or like like a group thing?
Solo.
I know, Annie, what about you?
I like to have a companion.
You like to have a companion? You're a solo traveler.
Yeah, also I like to have a companion, but it's like difficult to have a good companion. So travel solo is also good.
It is true. A lot of people say like a lot of friends go out as friends, and then when they come back from traveling, they just don't talk anymore.
Yep.
3 more guesses. Do you guys want to try?
Like the culture in that country, maybe.
Or the food.
Yeah, we need to find something to go.
Nicole, you are on fire today.
Wow.
Well done. Well done.
Okay.
Yes,
So people so far have been guessing travel companion, food, budget. What about the last 2? What do you guys think is what is the most important factor when a person is traveling? Like, what's the top reason for traveling?
To feel a different vibe.
Yeah, to know different things.
I'll give you a closer one. Relaxation.
Relaxation.
Oh, quite similar, isn't it? And this last one is actually my answer. Can you guys take a guess when I travel? What is the most important factor for me when choosing a place or when considering traveling?
A quiet place to relax.
Safety.
Safety.
Oh, yeah.
And you think as girls, like you probably want to pick a place that's like, much more safer, I assume. Well, well done, guys. We've got, I mean, I would consider these top answers, but may not be top 5 in your list, but like they definitely are top answers. All right, so since we're talking about tourism, we're talking about traveling, I know you guys are like travel enthusiasts, definitely. Can we start for Annie, for example? What was your last trip and where was it?
Actually, it was in the winter holiday. I went to the UK.
The UK?
Wow.
Yeah, I went to 2 cities. They are London, Oxford. Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
And I think the thing that impressed me the most is the English afternoon tea.
Oh, the afternoon tea.
And that's kind of different than what I thought before. And because I ate the meatballs inside one of those desserts, and I was kind of surprised they have those meatballs.
Were you expecting only like sweet stuff for
I was
afternoon
expecting-
tea?
Oh, in a dessert.
That's quite interesting. I mean, salted snacks probably. That's
Yeah.
fun. The UK. What about Javier? Where was your last trip?
My last trip was to Shantung for all the beaches around Shantung. Yantai, Qingdao, Rizhao, and Weihai.
Wow.
Because I want to know how is the beaches here in China. But well, it's not as my country. I'm from Mexico, and in my country the beaches are very warm. The people can swim, but when I go to the beach in China, nobody is swimming, and it's why. And I go to the beach, and when I feel the water is it's so cold. It's so cold. So nobody's swimming in any of that beach. So
I'd highly suggest you to go to Hainan Island. I think you would love the beach there.
yeah.
And people do end up swimming. I think they see it packed sometimes. What about you, Nicole? Where was your last trip?
My last trip was in Tianjin.
Oh,
I
close
went
to
there like May holiday.
May holiday.
Yeah, because everyone was traveling, so I just went there to see. I was interested in seeing the library, the Tianjin library.
Oh, that's quite famous.
Yeah, and the Italian street.
Oh yeah.
And then
they have little cafes there.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And so much food.
That's fun. That's fun. Well,
Yeah.
as young people, as international students, why do you think traveling more is very important to you?
For me personally, my major is tourism management.
Oh.
So I just it's almost like I have to, but I also want to because you need to explore different cultures and different nations, different foods. For me to have experience in this area, to have a future job in this, I need to know what I'm talking about later.
For me, I love the process of cultural communication. I love talking to different people and getting to know their different cultures and where they come from and what are their customs as such.
That's cool. Have you ever been to Mexico? Since we're seeing a handsome guy with very traditional clothing next to you.
No, I've never been there.
Welcome to Mexico.
Yeah, definitely go one day.
So tell us, if one day in Mexico, what would that look like? Since none of us have ever been.
Yeah.
Well, most to go in Mexico is our pyramids. I think that's the most famous things to do in Mexico, like Chichen Itza or the Sun Pyramid, with the most too. And also our beaches, I think that they are quite warm, quite all the seafood that you can find there is very tasteful, like Cancun, Oaxaca. They are the most famous. But also is my city. I'm from Mexico City. Well, like a citizen, I don't really like the cities, but well, welcome to Mexico City. It's just like a big city, and all the things that you can find there, we have there.
Tell us more about, you've been to a lot of places in China, right?
Yeah.
Where else have you been? Can you share?
Well, I've been in most of the east of China, like Shantung, Hebei, Tianjin also, Anhui, Shanghai.
A lot of places.
Wow, that's
Well, almost all the Dong.
Well, they always say like going to travel to that place is much more useful sometimes than reading a book or reading about it on the internet, right?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Do you feel like you learned a lot from your trips?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like the different culture that you can see. And for example, we have like a China history course, and then you can see the real history. For example, to be in Hangzhou to the UFA tomb, or maybe go to Anhui to see Huangshan. It's like or just for the renminbi, no, just to see the
Like the
backside.
printed on it, the
Yeah,
backside,
just
like in
to
Guilin and
Yeah,
stuff.
to take the picture of the
That's
scenery. That's
interesting.
beautiful.
Tell me a bit more. When you first came here, how was the payment method working?
When I first came to China, I needed like a whole 2 weeks to get my visa sorted and everything and get a bank card because I couldn't use my Visa
Foreign
card.
bank card, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to get Alipay and WeChat. And then, so in the meantime though, I was using cash and I would go to places like the supermarket or just like random stores
Like,
and they look at me like,
Is that cash?
like girl, and I'm like, I only have, they're like, don't you have WeChat or Alipay, anything? And I'm like, no. And it would seem like such a hustle for them to give me change because nobody uses cash in China. It's crazy.
Yes, a few months ago, though, I read that to make tourism easier for tourists when they come here, the application process for adding your international bank card on the system of WeChat and Alipay is much more easy right now.
Yeah,
so
I
as we can
heard
see,
that too.
yeah,
I
so
heard
I
they
think to make
changed
more
it.
ease,
Yeah.
because like if everyone here is used to scanning the phone and not carrying cash, well, I think that would be a bit hard for tourists, but good to know that that has changed.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Since we're talking about new changes and new policies, other than changing the WeChat Pay and attaching your foreign bank card to it, there's a lot of mutual exchanges in terms of visa-free policies. Recently, I've read that cruise ships coming to China, the cruise is also a visa-free situation. So I believe that in the future, probably more exchanges will be happening.
I hope so.
What's on the list? What's the next trip? When is the next trip happening?
June.
June?
Yeah,
Back to Rwanda?
really soon, yeah.
What about in China? Is there anywhere you'd like to go?
In China, I'd really like to go to Hangzhou again.
Like you
Yeah, I
mentioned?
really liked, I went to Zhejiang and I really liked it. I was there on a tourism trip for my department and I got to see the boat where they had the meeting for starting the CCP. It was so cool.
The boat? That's
Yeah,
interesting.
the red boat, yeah.
Zhejiang, we'll put that on the list for our next trip probably.
Well, the first thing is what I will see there. I need to see there's like something historical thing or a nature place. It's like the first thing. But for me, well, for international students, if there is a hotel that can accept foreigners, I think that foreigners is the most important thing to find an hotel that can accept us because it's always, can you accept foreigners? Can you accept foreigners?
Yeah.
It's the first thing that you need to do, always. Then.
Well, hopefully, probably in the future, there'll be more access. I think with tourism and
No, actually, they can have
They
changing the
have been
policies.
they're
Yeah.
changing, yeah.
Yeah,
And
at
also,
least-
I know that there's a lot of backpack travel. I don't know if you're a backpack traveler, but like
Yeah.
a lot of backpack travelers would love to just like have a place to sleep for the night, and then the next
Oh, well,
day just be
that's a
like
good-
out,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think that would probably be a change. What about Annie? What does the plan look like for you?
I think I'll just search online.
Search online.
I think nowadays many Chinese apps, you can even search for like foreign travelings as well on the Chinese app.
like the whole list and stuff of where you want to go. Oh, that's fun.
Some people will like all list it for you. And I was like, oh, that was good.
I remember. I think the Little Red Book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Online, the Little Red Book would tell you like where to
Where
go,
you go, where
to
to
like get the
buy.
money
Yeah.
exchange
Yeah.
and like the entire angles and stuff. So that was.
It's a good application for travelers.
Yeah, you like that app?
They tell you everything you need to know.
What about you, my lovely lady? What does the plan look like for traveling?
For me, when I travel, first I look at the season.
Season.
Yeah, so like summertime, I definitely like to go to the beach. Wintertime, like Harbin last year, that was great. So I look at that and I look at the accommodation as well. Like some hotels do not take foreign people, so you have to like ask around everything. Make sure you book your tickets, your return ticket as well.
Yes.
Time management, like I have like a whole schedule. I'm like at 5 I'm gonna be here and at 6 I'm gonna be here. And the most important thing for me though is the food.
The food.
Yeah, like
I remember you said you liked the food in Harbin. It was a big portion, wasn't it?
yes, I loved it. It was great and it was really cheap. That was so shocking to me. I thought like as a touristic area that everyone was going to at that time, I thought it would be a bit pricey,
Pricier.
but it was very cheap.
I don't think food would be a big factor for me when traveling. I feel like in terms of safety, that is like the most important factor to me. Have you ever encountered a safety issue while traveling?
Yeah, sure. Like personally, like last winter when I was in London, and my friend's wallet and even their umbrella,
Really?
and they all got stolen. And I think,
Whoa,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. And
an umbrella.
yeah, an umbrella and like all the things in their bag, like except their passport got stolen. So
I'm glad they got
Well,
their
at least-
passport.
yeah, at
that
least-
would have been even worse. You're studying Chinese, Javier?
Yeah, I'm a student.
And you've been to
here.
so many places in China. What about the different dialects? Like, were you able to
Well,
understand, or was there like trouble with that?
For example, I've been in Inner Mongolia, and I love that Inner Mongolia, everything is in Chinese and Mongolian. So I love that.
It's like they write like the double like the double languages are written.
Yeah,
under each other in the
there's
lists as
everything
well.
is in double language, Chinese and
That's
Mongolian.
so cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool. And when you talk to them, they can also understand in both.
Yeah, I think I know. So, for example, in the subway, the announcement is in English, Chinese, and Mongolian. So
Really?
Yeah.
Mongolian as well?
Yeah.
That's cool. I
That
bet you love.
happens in my country too.
Really?
We have English, French, and my language. Everywhere.
Cool.
Everywhere.
It's nice to have like a trilingual situation happening. So learning their languages or their culture, or do you feel like it's too different than me, that I don't really accept it? Like, what makes you really want to know more about them? Like, you seemed quite excited about the Mongolian thing.
yeah, I think to be a traveler, you need to be open
Yeah.
to know everything. For example, the food, no, this place. Maybe you find something that I have never think that I can eat this, but if you don't try, you will always don't eat like. So you need to try to meet new people, try to new things. So I think you must be
definitely.
open.
You're studying tourism management. I assume in the future you want to enter into an industry that's doing that. How do you feel like traveling right now as a student will help you in the future in your industry?
I think right now traveling definitely helps me be more open to just like new cultures, new people, and also their own curiosity. But sometimes you go places like, personally me as a black girl with braids, everywhere I go they want to touch my hair. So you need to be open to it. They're just curious, you know? So if you're always like, oh, but that's weird, because we don't do that in my country. Everyone has their own braids, but you need to be open and excited. I think the whole thing about tourism is being excited to explore new cultures and people.
And the fact that you are like taking the curiosity and so like friendly, I feel like they'll also feel like more open to know more about you. They're like, oh, well, she's
because
not...
I'm the same way. I came here and I was like, oh, what's that? Like everything, I was so curious. I was going everywhere. Every Chinese word that my teacher said, I was like, what's that? What's that? What's this? What's that? And like when my teacher, like a very simple one, I knew like 我想, you know, like 想, like want, but I didn't know 我要. So she said 我要, and I was like, oh, what is that? Like every little thing, I was just like, oh, I want to know, I want to know, I want to know. You need to be curious.
Yes.
Like if you're not curious and you're just, then I don't see why you're traveling.
Well, since I'll leave this question to Annie, since you're here from China and you've been to a lot of places in China and in the rest of the world, if I'm saying give me a top 3 destination for you in the coming new year, where will the top 3 destinations for you be?
Definitely Tianjin as the top
After
destination.
they already mentioned it.
Yeah. And then maybe Mexico. I've never considered like that, but it's kind of like sounds great to me.
The food is already attracting us over to Mexico.
It's really
We're
pretty.
already there.
Yeah.
I'd recommend you go to Rwanda. It's very green, it's very clean, and we have, like, if you're interested in safaris, we have every animal on earth. We have gorillas as well.
Really?
So if you want to see the silverbacks, you can go there as well. And if you like activities, fun things, we have all the artists that are coming to Africa right now, and they have performances. We also have the BAL, if you're interested in sports. BAL is like NBA, but for Africa.
Oh, that's cool.
Like anything you want to do, you can do it there.
So we asked Annie, and then we switched the question back to our lovely lady Nicole. Top 3 destinations for the coming year.
Top 3, definitely Rwanda, because I'm going back this summer. I'd definitely like to go to Greece.
Oh, Greece.
It seems so pretty, and the ocean and everything, and the history there, it has a huge history, so I would like to go there. Another place I would like to go to, South Africa. Yeah, I like their culture and their music and everything. They're just like really vibrant people.
I'm just
I do wanna
listening
go
to you and
there.
just adding to my own list. So I have 3 more coming now from Javier. Give me the top 3.
Well, I think the first one needs to be the west of China. I will to go to Xi'an.
Oh, love
I want
Xi'an.
to Chichen Fan, and maybe Vietnam or Cambodia, because being here like an international student is to make friends from all the world. So now you can, it's not only to know the Chinese culture, it's all the world culture.
Yeah.
It's like also
Being
an
an international
invitation.
student here, you get to meet people from all over the world as
Exactly.
well, which is
Everywhere.
really nice. And it's nice that you can also share your own culture in a sense
exactly.
to introduce us. All right, thank you guys. That was a fantastic talk, and hopefully all will come true for your next coming
I hope
3
so.
destinations.
I hope so.
And my whale watching
so.
one day. All right, thank you all for watching. This was the Power of Youth Plus, and we'll see you in our next episode. Bye!
Bye bye.